Well, good morning, and it is morning. It's 10:12 down here, 11:12 up there, and here we go again. All right, Trump got shot at. Now I could say some nasty things like the guy was really a bad shot, but there's a lot of interesting things being brought up, and I've known Secret Service agents. I hung around with a lot of them way back when, back in the 70s, and I knew guys that protected. I knew the guy that protected the Pope. First Pope visit in a long time, way back in the 70s. I knew that man. Personal friend of mine. I knew others that did protection detail on the president. All personal friends of mine, all guys I hung around with. I did a little work for them, not involving protection, involving their assignment to the Treasury Department. So I was close with them. And for a man to be able to get on a rooftop in a clear sight. Okay, I'm an expert shot. All right, I was when I was back in my youth, back in my 20s and 30s. You know, when I could hit anything you wanted at just about any distance, with or without a telescopic sight. I had 20/18 vision. That was unbelievable. Oh, it's gone now. I'm lucky I can see the TV. I'm lucky I can see the screen I'm talking to right now. But and this is, I've heard this said by security experts. They don't like to say conspiracy theories, but, and I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying that for a man to get that open shot on a rooftop with a rifle that close, okay, something broke down someplace. And they're lucky in the fact that the guy was such a bad shot, or he wasn't aiming for Trump. He was aiming for one of the people he killed, which is another possibility. Trump just happened to be in the wrong place at the right time for him. Or the other conspiracy is that this was a setup to garner the sympathy vote and pretty much guarantee Trump wins. He takes whatever sympathy was out there for Biden and takes it away. Okay? But is he going to do anything about gun control? No. So, you know, they just write it off as a crazy hillbilly took a shot at him. He's a young kid. I don't understand how somebody that young can have such political hatred for somebody, unless something was done to him. There's a lot of it that doesn't make any sense. But if you assume the truth, that this is a true situation and nothing sinister is going on, there still remains the fact, how did this kid get so wide open? Now, use a takedown rifle, you can stick it down your pants legs. You know, they haven't told me what weapon it was yet. It has to be at least a .223. Anything less than that at that distance would wouldn't have the power to kill, I don't think, unless it was a real serious wound. You know, they're saying it was parabellum ammunition. I don't know how they figured that out so fast. Parabellum ammunition tends to leave big holes. So Trump's lucky he's got an ear. But now he won't be able to hear his the puppet masters whispering in his right ear. They'll have to go to his left side. I mean, he had a great shooting position, and if he had been any kind of a shot, Trump doesn't move around. Trump stays stationary a lot, and he's a big fat target, and at that distance, a halfway decent shot, you know, puts a bullet in his chest. But they don't shoot the chest because they know he's got body armor on. To kill a president has to be a headshot. So if they went for the head, it was that shot that hit him in the ear was either a ricochet or it was a clean miss, and it went on to kill somebody else. You know, and At the time he got shot, he didn't move his head that in any serious direction, so it wasn't a jerk or anything. So I don't see uh, the guy missing if he was halfway decent shot. Most country people, most kids that live out in the country, in what they call the rural America, they shoot for food. You know, they hunt for food, so they're all pretty good hunters, and they're all pretty good shots. This, I don't think, was a good shot. This was just a random shooting. Or they're going to find out that the people that were killed by friendly fire, which is a possibility. And the other thing that goes along with this story is that you watch the people behind Trump during this thing. They don't jump out of their seats. They're not looking to cover up or anything like that, you know. And you do hear the one guy yelling, "He's got a gun." Now, does that mean, you know, somebody set this kid up and he's got a gun and now they're going to kill him? Because they killed him with a headshot, apparently. And that's just what a sniper's supposed to do. All right, but to be able to judge distance, if they knew the distance and the elevation and everything at that point in time, to be able to do a headshot real quick like that, then he was, well, first of all, he was close, which is, you know, no big deal for a sniper. But the other part about it is that they knew where he was going to be. All right, there's a lot of conspiracy going to happen about this. I don't think this is one of those stories that you know, like it's like Kennedy's. What, I don't know how many years Kennedy's been gone, and they're still talking about it since 1963, which is what, 61 years ago. They've been discussing that assassination, and they say that, you know, there had to be more than one person from the statistics and whatnot. And I honest to God, haven't seen all the statistics, but I believe that. I don't believe that with that rifle and that scope, that was either the luckiest shot. That was a lucky shot. I'm not gonna say a lucky shot. Well, it was a lucky shot. And you know, he wasn't known. He was a sharpshooter. There's a difference between a marksman, and whatnot. I forget how it goes. Sharpshooter and marksman are people that qualify. They're not experts. They're qualified, and I forget what qualification meant. I think you can miss 6 or 7 shots or something like that to qualify out of 20 rounds. But, you know, I don't remember what I did. All I know is I was an expert, and I did things for them that they didn't think, you know, to prove how good I was. So I don't worry about it. It was fun for me, you know. I won a rifle team and all that stuff. That was just fun for me. I enjoyed that. Like I enjoyed fishing, neither one of which I can do down here anymore, and I have a lot of problems with that sometimes. Some days I have a real problem with that, but some days I'm glad I don't own a gun, because there's a few people down here that deserve to be, that I would have shot by now with my temperament. So it's a, you know, yeah. But getting back to this story, you know, my theory about this is, you know, let's say assume everything is true, factual. You know, it wasn't a setup. It wasn't, you know, it was just a couple of mistakes made here and there. You know, and this guy was able to get into position to take the shot, and then he missed horribly. Who knows? You know, but as far as Trump's concerned, if it's all real and it's not a fake deal, karma's a bitch, Donnie. And it ain't done with you yet. So, you know, I think the convention's, I don't know whether the convention to nominate him is tomorrow or the day after. I don't know. I'm not, I don't follow the conventions too much, because that's just bad TV as far as I'm concerned. I remember back being a kid when we first had a TV and everything, and I had to sit there and watch these conventions, and it was like, you know, it's like watching newsreels of the Korean War, you know. yeah, it's a horrible situation, and I felt bad for the troops, you know. And but Republican conventions, a bunch of political conventions are a bunch of elites, and I mean elites. You know, most of those people don't know jack shit about anything. You know, what they want or what they need or anything like that, especially on a national level. They're there because they got elected on a local level. They weren't picked to nominate the president of the United States on a national level, because none of those people know anything about national politics. They're basically looking to get a little something for them and their constituents back in the states and neighborhoods that they came from. Maybe they'll get free lunches for a month or something. Who knows? But there's no upside to being a convention delegate. You know, most of them never end up doing anything except, you know, going back to whatever it was they were doing before. So I don't know what's going. We know what's going to happen there tomorrow. He's going to get, you know. Oh wow, poor Donnie, that fat bastard. Yeah, you know what I said, and I shouldn't have said it, and I don't, and I know I said it, and it's a very, you know, unhealthy thing to say. But when I was talking to my wife about it, I said, yeah, bad shot. I said he was a bad shot because, and I didn't even know how open the shot was at the time I said that, you know. Because I mean, and the thing that really bothered me about the whole thing when I was watching it live, when I watched the video of it, is the people behind him. You know, my first instinct was that I'd knock the guy out next to me to get down. I was, you know, headed for the ground. I don't give a shit. You know, when somebody starts shooting, because you know they don't know what they're. If you've ever seen a gunfight or been around a bunch of people shooting, the safest place to be is not there. You understand? So I don't see anybody running for the gates or anything like that. And that's very, very, very unusual in a situation like that. The level of non-panic from the people behind them. And you just look at people who are staring like, well, hey man, what was that? You know, and I know these people aren't the brightest people in the world, because they're always behind him, you know, and I'm pretty sure they're paid, but I doubt it. You know, this is just ridiculous. That's the biggest thing that bothers me about the whole thing, is these people are so immune to that. You know, these are people who are extremely dangerous people behind him, if that's the truth. Like I said, I'm not sure about this being all real, you know. But if it is, somebody's going to get fired in the Secret Service because they left a huge gap. Huge. If you look at an aerial photo of that situation, you could have driven armored personnel carriers in there. You know, you could have put 25 snipers on that roof. And I'm not sure if the guy that yelled he's got a gun was supposed to yell that, or if that's just a, you know, he just spontaneously saw, he did see it and he yelled, and then, you know, people did, but they didn't run in panic. You know, that's the thing. They didn't panic. And you in a situation like that, chaos ensues. And there wasn't that much chaos in the area behind him. Maybe in front of him, I don't know, because we don't get to see too much of that. So there could be a lot of chaos in the front of him. But the chaos in behind him, nah, they were just hanging out. And that's just the scary part about it. All right, listen, it's Sunday. We'll find out more, maybe, in the next day or so. I'd like to know the weapon he carried. And then I can personally tell you a little bit more about what I think of the shot and everything like that. But it's that 20-year-old kid, 2 years out of high school. Makes no sense to me. I mean, people that young aren't usually that politically active. They're socially active. They're willing to protest social indignity, but to get involved in politics, that's kind of young. So there has to be some sort of parental or adult influence on this guy, someplace along the line, you know. Maybe he was paid money to fake this thing. Who knows? Nobody's going to know. We're not going to know. Look, we don't know the whole story of the Kennedy assassination. You know, we know the 99% of it, but there's 1% that's still out there, you know, that we don't know anything about. So anything's possible. So look, anyhow, it's Sunday. Hell of a way to start the end or start the week, but depending on how you visualize Sunday. But Lucy, where'd you go? Come here. Come here. Come say hello. Can you see her? Yeah, you can see her. She's there. She's right down by my hand where she always is. You know, she likes to get her ears scratched. She's a little dog. She's not a big, strong dog, but supposedly this is the Doberman and the miniature pinchers and all the other pinchers all came from this breed. So here she is. She's cute. She's docile. She doesn't listen to me, but that's okay. I love her. Anyhow, all right. So before I get carried away talking about her for the next hour, I'm going to take off. You know, I don't know what I'm going to do. But you guys all have a good day.